What's up, everybody? Ben Reza here for Odd Shopper College Football Week 0. Yes, Week 0. It's here. Games are ready to begin. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. It's not the full slate of Week 1 with the big time marquee matchups, but we got 5 games. It means we got bets. There's going to be boost promos, and we got to know where to go. It's going to be interesting. We're going to break down all 5 of the games right here, right now. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what's going on. I'm also going to talk about what we've got going on at Odd Shopper and, of course, on Tails, all that good stuff. But first things first, maybe you've been away and you're just searching for some content now and you found Odd Shopper. I want to welcome you to the channel, all things betting, breakdowns, tools, picks. If you like betting sports, we hope that you'll make Odd Shopper your home. Take a look around the channel. If you like it, press subscribe. I'm going to be doing college football parlay videos and full slate breakdowns all season on this channel. Now, before we get into the games, bring up an odds screen right now. I think it is important to talk just a little about kind of, at least these are my views on the landscape of college football. So I've been betting college football for quite a while, and it always used to be if you can isolate, return production, teams that come back intact, a lot of that stuff, you might be able to get a slight edge. It's not that the books don't know that, but still, sometimes it can be undervalued. But we are in the age of the portal. And when you look at these teams and the teams that we're going to talk about, you quickly see there's kind of two things to balance. Return production, sure, but how hard did they hit the portal? How many unknowns are here? And that is just the name of the game. And it does produce some wacky results, I think, in week 0, because we simply don't know how well some of these teams are going to gel. Nature of the beast, there's nothing we can do about it. Everyone's at the same advantage or disadvantage. Let's just dive in. Let's talk through the games and see what we can find. And then, like I said, we'll put some bets together as we go along. But I'm just going to go straight in order. Now, I am getting to the biggest game first, so let's dive right into it. We've got Kansas State and Iowa State, a Big 12 clash with, I mean, maybe not national championship implications, but playoff implications for sure. This is a big time matchup. Now, the game is in Dublin, in Ireland. We've seen these, Georgia Tech, Florida State, those type of matchups, and we've seen some trends, and it's not surprising. It's produced some wacky results. It's produced unders, teams traveling to weird locations, maybe the weather, maybe week 0, all of it and above. You've got Kansas State sitting as a 3-point favorite, total of 50.5. So what are the good news for these teams is the quarterbacks. There's no unknowns there. You've got Beck, you've got Johnson. These are serious players. Avery Johnson is one of my favorite players in the entire country. And I want to start with Kansas State. So let's talk about them. This is a team that I think you could have argued. I know Arizona State emerged, but Kansas State was amongst the best teams in the Big 12 last year. I think they're going to be one of the best teams this year. If they are, it's going to be because of this running game. Avery Johnson, Edwards, they were good last year here, 5.9 yards per carry, second in the country. Obviously, when you have a dual threat quarterback, that really helps. Now, it's like all football games, D-line, O-line, those type of matchups. I think Kansas State will be fine on both fronts. I don't think it's the most vintage, group, but I think it'll be serviceable. They kind of are who they are. I don't have major concerns, maybe in the secondary a little bit. But then you flip it to the other side of this game. And let's talk about Iowa State, who's, again, another good team. Rocco Beck is awesome, but Higgins and Noel are not here. They're in the NFL now. His two big weapons on the outside are now gone. So, two different scenarios. One, maybe they funnel in some new bodies and they step up. A lot of talk about these tight ends. They got two massive ones. I totally get that. Or maybe they regress to a more run-centric team, which is, I kind of think, their natural identity anyway for Campbell in terms of their coaching philosophies. Iowa State's offensive line, I think, is strong. That's one of the matchups to watch. To me, these teams are kind of mirror images of each other in a lot of ways. Again, no concerns at quarterback, maybe some concerns about skill sets on the outside. Who's going to win in the trenches? I think both teams in some ways will be able to run the ball with success. That does kind of scream under, but this under, again, it's a pretty efficient line in my mind. When you look at it, you're seeing 50.5 pretty much everywhere. There's like a rogue 51, but you're laying more juice, so it's not even real. I don't think that's the spot I want to go. Not the best game on the card. You can find flat three at minus 110 in numerous places. And that is the side that I'm interested in Kansas State. I think you're talking about certainly small margins here, but I actually believe that they're going to be able to kind of maintain their core philosophies. Again, I already mentioned how successful they were on the ground. They're also a top 30 rush defense. They did lose some guys on that front, but I think they're still going to be pretty strong there. Whereas Iowa State's D line, I'm not going to say decimated, but they lost some big players, some certainly Big 12 caliber players. I'm not sure how they're going to mask that. Maybe the linebackers, maybe they'll put one extra in the box, but to me, Kansas State will be able to have a little more success. Obviously, turnovers, fluky things like that could tell the tale. But let's get things started with Kansas State. First bet on the board. I'm going to find the three. I'll click it in here on DraftKings, and then we'll do some things as we go. So, one bet down. Let's keep it moving. We've got 5 games to get to. Now, the second game here is Idaho State. The Bengals, whoever the hell this is, FCS opponent on the docket. So, I'm not going to spend a ton of time here. If you want to do something with this, more power to you. Who the hell is Idaho State? Well, they're an FCS team, middle of the road, 5-7 last year. From what I could gather, they actually seem to have a pretty good offense. They've got some returning production, certainly across that side of the ball. Their defense wasn't good last year, and it looks like it's probably going to be worse. They're going to give up a lot of points here. Now, it's a 65.5 point total, and they're getting nearly 4 touchdowns. And the way it's going, you might cross 4. UNLV is going to take that money. UNLV was awesome, but what remains, honestly? This team lost a ton. Dan Mullen is here. Philosophical changes. They did stabilize via the portal. He brought in a lot of big names. There's no doubt about that. And honestly, to Idaho State, they brought in a couple of FBS transfers in their own right. That's not going to change the facts on the ground. They're going to get smoked in this game, but maybe they can put up some points. And that is the only angle that I have any interest in here. I'm not playing a game where UNLV can name their score, whether it's 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, or 5 touchdowns. I have no idea. I don't think it's a great value game. I do think there is some still meat on the bone here, though, if you want to do this. Obviously, this implies, I guess, 2 different things. The first way you get there is that UNLV destroys them and they score 55, 60 points on their own. That happens all the time in these FCS matchups. We've seen it many a times. I don't think that that's super likely. If I thought that was going to happen, I would just bet UNLV. The second way it gets there, though, which I think is more reasonable, is that UNLV's defense, which only returns a couple starters, isn't that good, and they give up 17, 21, 24 points in that realm, and it plays to the spread, and UNLV hangs their 40 as they're going to do, and this game gets over the mark. I do think this game could be like a 51-24 type game. Both these teams' defenses look pretty weak. I don't think tempo is going to be an issue either. Idaho State will do some things to cause some problems. You could see big plays, obviously turnovers. Why not? Give me some of that turnover variance. I'm fine with that type of play. Again, I don't think you need to get crazy. It's Idaho State and UNLV here, but 65.5 minus 110, playable if you're looking for some action. Again, there's going to be boosts and promos. You might need some of those to fill them depending on what the sites offer you. Before we get to the third game, actually, I just clicked on the wrong screen, but subliminally, this is what I wanted to mention anyway. If you are a college football fan, if you're going to be with me the whole year, first of all, that's going to be awesome. We're going to have a good time. But if you have questions, I'm filming this on a Thursday morning, Saturday kickoff. You want to sweat the games. You want to ask questions. Get inside the ropes here at Tails. If you haven't been on Tails, it's right on oddchopper.com, and it is our marketplace to get content. Simple as that. You can subscribe right here. You can press follow, which is 100% free, and any free picks that I drop, they come right to your feed, right to your device. You can also hop on into Discord. Again, it's week 0. I had to do something cool, and I'll bring it up on the full screen. You can join for the week for a simple dollar. CFB1 though. Use that code. Don't waste money. Use the code CFB1 and come on in for $1. If you love it, you found your home for college football. If you hate it, you are always welcome back. You're not going to hate it. But you obviously do not have to stay. We welcome everybody. It's a great community. It's a good time. Obviously, we're dropping bets, yes, but I think it's more than that. You can find bets anywhere. It's an experience. It's a great community. You sink right into Discord. You get immersed right into the community, as I mentioned. We have a really fun group. It's not just me in there, as you can see. A lot of people talking about a lot of different sports, dropping a lot of different plays. Simple as that. So, link in the description of this video, code there. All simple things. Again, I'll just bring this up because this is week 0. And we're not going anywhere. So, again, shout out to Tails. First real year with this new interface. I'm very, very, very excited for it. Not going to lie. Okay. 2 down, 3 to go. It's kind of the swing game. I don't really know what I mean by that, but that's just kind of like how I view this. This is like the lost game on the slate. Fresno State and Kansas. It's moving, 12.5, 13. It hasn't broached 2 touchdowns yet, but maybe. I think that's the side I have interest in, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about Fresno State and Kansas because there's a lot to talk about here with these teams. So I mentioned 12.5. Total's pretty methodical at 50.5. 5-7 for Kansas last year. I thought that was pretty disappointing. Jalen Daniels returns. He's played a lot of football. He had 12 picks last year. You just can't do that. Outside the top 100 interception rate. You just can't do that. Now, bad news for him. The top 7 pass catchers from last year are gone. They're all gone. There's no production left. That's the bad news. The good news, we're in the age of the portal. So what did they do? They filled it with all sorts of random players. They have a Bama transfer. They have a first-team Ivy Leaguer coming in. They have a kid from Albany on the roster. They have an all-MAC transfer from Ball State. I don't know. I don't know if these guys, a lot of them are stepping up in competition. How big of a step up is that, though, against Fresno State? Maybe not huge. If they mesh, the rest of the team looks pretty good. I actually like the front defensively. The secondary lost some big-time names. You're talking, All-American caliber players, Big 12 caliber players. But it's all about your opponent. Can Fresno State take advantage of that? I don't know, honestly. This is a team. They were average across the board last year. I really don't have a lot to say. New coach, former North Dakota State architect of some of those national championships. EJ Warner is here. Who the hell is he throwing to? That's a question mark. He's taking a step up. Rice and Temple. It's ugly. It's an ugly game. And again, I look at Kansas. To me, it's more about them. Fresno State just I think they are who they are. They're going to be a middling Mountain West team. They don't stand out in any way. I don't think they're going to be gimmicky at all. They just are who they are. If quarterback play is good, they could be fine. If it's bad, it's going to be a rough year. Kansas had a lot of positives last year, but they just couldn't put it together. When you look at teams like this, it's always kind of an indication that you could buy low potentially. They were top 15 in the country in yards per play, but they were outside the top 40 in red zone scoring. So they left points on the table last year. That was the turnover issues. That was just stalling at the wrong time. It was more about the passing numbers. They didn't throw it a lot. They were 112th in passing yard percentage. And, they just didn't have to throw. And when Daniels did, he wasn't overly effective. When they took their shots, again, yards per pass attempt were fine, but it was just not all working kind of as one unit when you really break it down. So I look at this KU team. I love their coach. They hit the portal like everybody else. It's a fresh start. If they keep it clean and these wide receivers fill the gap, I think they have decisive advantages. I'm also not overly sold on what Fresno State did. Again, you have limited options. No offense to Fresno State. But to me, this is a game I would lay the points with Kansas. Anything inside 2 touchdowns, if I had to. I'm just not backing Fresno State. I know when you look at a 50.5 point total and you're getting 12.5, those margins are pretty decent because if it goes under this number, how many points does Fresno really need? Not that many is the answer. But I'm not sure they can do that much, to be completely honest. And I think Kansas is in a Big 12 logjam with a ton of teams. I'm not saying they emerge. In fact, I don't think they emerge, but they could be much better than expected. They've got experience at quarterback. They got a coach that knows what he's doing. I like the squad. As I have this not in center focus, but Kansas minus 12.5, minus 115. 3 down, 2 to go. I know I already mentioned how to get in Discord, how to do all that good stuff. You also see right on the screen, though. Tweet me anytime, anytime at JazzRazBets. I am more than happy. I love college football. It's my favorite sport. So if you're looking to talk about a random team, you say, hey, what about this question? Did you think about this? This is why I'm on the other side. I'm all about it. Please. I love it. Maybe you can. The information is very hard to get. There's stuff that I'm missing. There's no doubt about it. Prime example is actually the next game we're going to talk about. So we're all in this together to try to gain an edge over the books. So anything you can do, it is appreciated. And that's why I love the Discord. It's me in there, but I'm learning just as much as I'm giving out plays. And that's the beautiful thing about it. The Bearcats, the homeless Bearcats, because they're not even playing at home this year. Against Western Kentucky, this is a weird matchup for week 0, but let's talk about it. We're getting some points here. There's no doubt about that. You have another double-digit spread, but if you look at this total, it's pretty healthy. 61.5, and I see it. I do. So let's talk about these teams and then talk about how to find an actionable bet. So starting, Sam Houston State. Well, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not the only one who noticed this. Their depth chart is all over the place. They got potentially co-starters at quarterback. They got all sorts of dudes defensively that I thought might be starting. They're not even listed. I don't know what's going on with them. This was a team that ran crazy. They were 10-3 last year, but they ran stupid hot. There's no doubt about it. Turnover margin, top 10, close game metrics, all of them jumped off the page. They won all the coin flip situations. That's just not going to happen. Regression is going to hit. I like Sam Houston State in life. I don't like them this year. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think splitting quarterback time is a good idea. I think it's just going to be a rough year. Now, it's all about your opponent, though. Western Kentucky, I'm not saying I don't know what they're doing. They just lost a lot of production. The portal hit them very hard, and they hit the portal very hard. It's always kind of that operation. But when they hit the portal, they're poaching from, FCS and things of that nature, and their good players are going up to Power 4, Power 5 conference type days. So who takes the reins? Maverick McIver, Abilene Christian. I don't know anything about Abilene Christian football. I know a little about their basketball team. They had some cool moments in recent years. But this guy, obviously he tore it up at the FCS level. If you look at the stats, it's a step up. But Sam Houston State was in the FCS not that long ago. So it's nothing crazy here. I think philosophically, that's probably the difference in the game. I'm not really sure what goes on in terms of scoring, where it comes from, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of scoring here. And that's Phil Longo at head coach for Sam Houston State. They're going from a methodical team, one of the slowest in the country. I'm not going to say they're going to be playing crazy fast, but they will take more shots. They want to throw the ball. There's no doubt about that. And I think they can exploit Western Kentucky's defense. I know that Western Kentucky can exploit Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State is a mess. And unless this quarterback is just no good, I think Western Kentucky hangs a boatload of points in this game. I like this number quite a bit. Over 61.5. It's fun to root for an over. I actually prefer rooting for unders because I'm a sicko, but over 61.5, minus 106. I'm fine with that. This has been bouncing around a little bit. I'm not advocating to bet teasers, but like something like a sweetheart teaser here. Western Kentucky might be like a moneyline parlay piece, depending on if you're going to get a number. I haven't even thought about that. I'm just talking out loud, so don't quote me. But depending on what type of boost they give you, if it's one of these boosts where it incrementally builds up with more legs, you may look to some money lines, alternate lines, as long as you're not giving up too much rake. Again, that's all stuff we'll be talking about in Discord day of. But for me, in this game, Over 61.5, Sam Houston State and Western Kentucky. All right. One last game on the week 0 slate. And then we'll round it out again. Thanks for tuning in, though, everyone. Appreciate it. And hit me in the comments. I'll be saying any other games that you want me to cover. I covered literally every game I could here. There are no other games. So I think we're covered for week 0. But just in general, appreciate it. Give me your hot takes, any live dogs, upsets, teams that you think could win the Natty, any bets. We're talking a lot of futures as well, because it's just a good time before the season officially kicks off. And to me, they saved the best for last. This is the best game of the slate. Stanford and Hawaii, very competitive, 2.5-point spread. Rainbow Warriors at home. I kind of like them. Let's talk about it. So this is Stanford. First of all, I don't know. Frank Wright, I have no idea what to expect there. I don't really know what to expect for them. They were terrible last year. I believe they were 3-9. Their defense was atrociously bad. It should be better here, but how much better? Quarterback roulette. It looks like Branson won that. I didn't think it would be him, the Oregon State transfer. That didn't inspire a ton of confidence for me. They also have to travel to the island. I'm not sold on Stanford. I'm really not. They've got some talent. They've got some playmakers. The defense legitimately can't be worse, but I'm not bullish on them in general. Now, to me, this is all about Hawaii. 4th year for Timmy Chang. They have won a total of 2 games off that island in 3 years. Lucky for them, they're at home. They're at home here. They're much stronger there. And there is hope on the horizon in the form of, and I apologize if I'm butchering the name, Ali Haddo. This kid took over late last year at quarterback, redshirt freshman, and he looks awesome. I mean, look at the New Mexico box score. Obviously, everybody's doing that and extrapolating that he's just the best quarterback ever. I don't know. It was one start. He had 5 touchdowns, 450 yards or something like that. He was dominant. He's got his top 2 weapons on the outside back. They return 18 starters. The defense will be better. And Hawaii is not known for defense. But you got to be respectable because this is a 50.5-point total. You can't be giving up 35 points and expect to win this game. That's not going to happen. But with this quarterback and with these skill position players and the system in place, it's week 0. I think these teams that have, even to jump back to the previous game, I just mentioned Phil Longo. If you look at Western Kentucky, they got the same identity as they always have for many years now, 5, 6, 7 years. That really helps. Even if you're getting an influx of transfers, they're coming into an established system. It's really hard to integrate new transfers into a new system at the same time. And that is what a lot of these teams, including Stanford, is trying to do. I'm going to take this inside 3. I'm going to go with Hawaii. It's always a little freaky when you're taking a group of 5 team against the team from it's not the Pac-12 anymore, from the ACC. But honestly, Stanford is just not Stanford anymore. They haven't been for quite some time. And I do think that Hawaii is poised to take that next step. They've been floundering a little bit, these like 5-7 type campaigns, things of that nature. This is a year they should clear to a bowl game. This is the type of year they should beat teams of this nature at home. And you're getting it inside 3. I'll take the 2.5. I mean, I'm not getting the 2.5. I'll lay it, but anything inside that field goal is playable for me with Hawaii minus 108 right there. Yeah, you roll the money line, honestly. Look at that. Let's do a quick recap of these games. Now I'll give a couple notes on the way out. Appreciate it. Again, if you haven't hit the like button, just take 2 seconds. It really does help. And if you want to share this, that would be fantastic. Appreciate all the support. But there's our bets. I don't have Kansas State on here because I'm not laying 3.5 when I don't need to. But what did I press? Look at all these. Look at next week. It's going to get a little dangerous. But there we have it. Kansas State over in Idaho State. Kansas laying the points. Overs and favorites. How chalky can we be? Hopefully it's a public week. I don't particularly like doing either of those things on a macro level, but sometimes those are the plays that have to be made, and those are the plays that we've got going on for this week 0 slate. Win, lose, or draw. We're going to be having fun in Discord. Win, lose, or draw. It's going to be an awesome year of college football. Don't go crazy overreacting to anything, whether you're winning or losing. Like I said, it's week 0, and we have to see these teams in action. Last thing for me on the way out, once again, I'm using Tails to power all of this. If you want to get my bets sent right to your device, if you want to be able to interact with me and the entire community for college football, whether it's just this week or for the season, hop into that Discord. You go tails.bet/jazzrash. Just type that in, type in CFB1, and you are in 30 seconds. It's that simple. If you want to just press follow, you can do that as well. And any free picks sent right to your device. But again, $1 for 1 week. Doesn't get any better than that, friends. And it doesn't get any better than talking college football. Just want to say thanks on the way out. Let's make it an awesome year here at Odd Shopper. It wouldn't hurt to start with a couple wins. So on that note, week 0 in the books. Good luck. Enjoy the games. Talk to you next week.